Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Daily Healing Journal, where I'm sharing my healing journey in real time. Today, we're going to talk about breaking free of negative energy. So, when you remove yourself from toxic situations, these people who once tried to control you and manipulate you, they'll often turn to smear campaigns, okay? And this is going to involve people that they talked terribly about maybe in the past, and they're trying to recruit. So, they might just I don't know, maybe they call their ex-wife and then they call a coworker that they always talked bad about. And then they call their mom, who they called a cunt all the time. And maybe they, call their girlfriend that they announced they had the day after you guys maybe were intimate with each other and were trying to have a baby. And maybe they lie to the police and then try to get, law enforcement on their side by telling extravagant lies that definitely don't add up. Okay. Just be prepared. These people, I'm laughing because I think it's funny. I think it's funny that a lot of times people like this, they find it all so entertaining. And that should be your first sign that these people are not for you. And, I've experienced this too. Maybe some of these people might be watching my videos that might be part of certain things with my past. What's funny is, they might be making fun of us, people who talk about our healing journal and our stories that align with our value system. But the best part about people like this, just understand, I get paid every time someone clicks on a link and watches my video. So if you're one of those people, by the way, that's watching, I just want to say, like, hi, thank you for your support. This is my job. Oh my God. So, you guys, this is funny stuff, because once you reach a point where it's funny, that's the best. That's the healing. And don't let these people tear you down. And they could try the smear campaign with people that you might even be related to and thought you trusted the most, people who actually have a peek into the real truth. You just have to let them. And sometimes these people take that let them theory and they use it to avoid truth. They use the let them theory, which is a great theory. Mel Robbins wrote a book about this, and it's great. I'm just saying, like, you have to watch for these people, because they're going to use a lot of this stuff and blame, right? So just let them do that. And I find it hysterical, because all of us who are here on a healing journey, we can now spot these things. And Dr. Ramani has helped me so much with learning about narcissistic, sociopath, and psychopathic behaviors. And it's amazing. It's like once you learn these things, you can almost predict what they're going to do. And the best thing to do is to stay away from these people, because, as funny as it is to watch them kind of trip and fall on their own lies, it's not for you, right? So we can laugh a little bit, but then you got to move on because, it's these people can actually be dangerous. And I mean, I have enough proof. I don't need any more proof. I have the videos, the pictures, the memories, the text messaging, the emails from day one of knowing any one of these people. Okay. And so even if you feel like you're getting tripped up in wanting to go out and maybe fix this smear campaign by putting in your truth, listen, it's not worth it. These people are under a spell of lies, and they're caught in a web. And I've been there. And like I said in previous videos, when they're really good, and what I mean by real good is like when they are someone who could probably win an award for their acting skills, just let them go do that. That's not for you. It's not for you. Icky stuff, gross. And anybody who doesn't align with what I'm saying doesn't belong here. So, I mean, I appreciate the support and all, and I'll take your money, but yeah, it's I don't know why you're here if you're not here to heal. So, bye. All right. So, you have to acknowledge losing people. And this is something I've always really been hurt by. And, you know, I think a lot of the people that joined the smear campaign, in therapy, it was one of the things that I learned where I was like, why would I ever, reach out to people or try to warn them or anything? And there were a couple instances where I felt it was the respectful and right thing to do, right? So if I see another woman who's going through the exact same thing I was going through, and then maybe this person ends up on my property, yes, I feel like I might need to warn somebody just because of the dangers that I've seen that are inside the home. There's proof. Okay. And, if somebody's crossing a boundary by going on your property and it's inappropriate, you're allowed to talk about that, okay? And set those boundaries and safety first always. And a lot of times, airplane, welcome to Key West. And so everything that I'm doing right now has been at not only an intuitive guidance system telling me what to do, but also the advice of law enforcement and professional therapists and attorneys. Okay. These types of yucky things, you just have to sort of let them play out. They're going to do their thing. My goal in my situations, it's not just one, but in my situations, I'm cleaning house. Okay. So I didn't realize I had this many people around me, and I didn't realize that there were that many people around this person that were suddenly going to just join them, right? Especially when the people that are joining a lot of these other people that were abusive and manipulative and nasty behind closed doors, they don't know any of it. Now, if they had the proof like I do, they might change their mind, but probably not, because these people enjoy the drama. They enjoy it. So let them do their smear campaign. Let them have fun with their low vibrating people. Okay. And if that doesn't feel right to you, it means it's not for you. So move on. This brings me to detaching, right? And this is the first time in my life I've ever actually felt like it actually feels lighter to not be around or controlled or manipulated by all these people. You don't even realize it's happening, right? So this might be in friends, it might be with family, it might be in relationships that you have. It doesn't matter. It could just be in strangers as well. Don't let any of it have you holding on, because if they're enjoying watching you be honest and if they're watching your life, this just brings me back to like, okay, like let them watch you, okay? Maybe they can learn something from you and your growth, but again, you have to just detach, and when it doesn't feel right for you, that means it's not. One of the ways I like to do this is ask yourself, does this person define me? And the answer is always absolutely not. You have to visualize their words as like passing clouds, or maybe if you go take a poo, all right? What are you going to do with that? You're going to flush it down the toilet and never see it again. Okay. That's a little bit of an analogy, but I remember when I was a little girl, that's what I would think of. Like when I didn't align with somebody at like preschool, I just flushed my my poop down the toilet. My gosh, this is a funny day. It's a great day. The weather is shining. I went for a great walk again. And I'm about to make a costume tonight for an event I'm going to. And I just have to say, I've had hard days, but I'm better and better every day. And I'm living proof in real time that you can just like kind of let this stuff float away. And it's tickling me how much support your haters can actually give you. I mean, it's adorable actually. So it's endearing. It's very cute. If you're still watching. I'm getting a kick out of it. And if you're feeling down today, just observe me right now. Okay. I'm smiling and I'm good and I'm healthier every day, physically and mentally and spiritually. And, higher power knows what to do. So if you're struggling with something that you don't know what to do with, give it to higher power. And I know that can be a sensitive subject for people, but hang in there, okay? And if that means like looking at birds, or like today, I like to watch the bees that are landing on little plantains and taking videos and pictures of hibiscus flowers, and looking at the beautiful water. Today, the water was glistening. I'll put a little bit of the video right here for you guys to see. I was on my walk today and I got to see these beautiful things, and I just stood there and I observed, okay? And I observed the things that are peaceful and great. And, if you're rolling your eyes at this, I highly recommend you either skip to a different video or maybe give yourself the chance to realize that if you're triggered by what I'm saying, that means you got a lot of healing to do. If you're rolling your eyes at certain things, you're allowed to do that. You're totally allowed to do that. And if it triggers you to hear higher power, or it triggers you to go, oh, yeah, look at stop and smell the roses, I mean, we all can go through that. And I'm telling you, life is so much more enjoyable when you do stop and smell the flowers and look at the little bumblebees on different things, just those tiny little things. I mean, we're on a rock flying through space around the sun at 67,000 miles per hour. Give yourself a little bit of power in noticing little things. I've always been good at that. So and that will help you detach. These types of practices will remind you that there's way more to this life and this big picture than all these little nasty bugs, okay? There's going to be bugs, there's going to be rats and the rumination and all that. Detach from it by just giving yourself some peace today. So, the other thing I want to talk about is focusing on your circle. And when you go through this, a lot of times your circle will get a lot smaller. It may come down to just you, which is sometimes a great thing. And then you'll start to pay attention to things and people that are coming back into your circle that maybe you once knew. And maybe they're people that you don't even know. I have brand new family members that are blood, that are actual blood, that have reached out to me and been nothing but kind. I have learned things about generational cycles that I'm breaking that I didn't even know about. I'm learning about the love and the other side, the people that broke free from all of this. I didn't even know I had these relatives, okay? That is a gift in itself. And more of these people have actually reached out to me than the ones I already knew, okay? And I'm not bashing anyone here because this is truly a gift. And it doesn't mean, by the way, that people in your life that maybe they haven't reached out to you or anything, just remember you're always allowed to reach out to them. And if you're not ready to do that, it's okay. Just let it be. And what will work out will be what's supposed to work out. Don't force anything. It doesn't mean that all these people are bad people. All right. You can find love in the detachment, like I said. And also remember to be grateful for your circle because it's amazing the synchronicities that happen when you start to align with what works for you, you suddenly start attracting people. And I have to say, as much as I'm laughing at the people who are maybe snooping on my videos for whatever reason because they're bored with their own lives or something, I don't really know. Welcome to Key West. Another plane. But finding joy in learning about these synchronicities, maybe you are reading the same books as somebody else, or maybe align with the same values, and maybe you weren't there yet. I had a couple of friends that I lost touch with for a little while. And I think that, we all were like, we kind of lost touch and we couldn't really figure out why. And you start to realize that the why is usually due to vibrations. You just don't align with certain people anymore. And sometimes that also means that maybe you're the one that's off track, right? And maybe you end up reconnecting with these people at some point in your life because you finally are all kind of on the same page again. It happens all the time. And don't have high expectations of this in the beginning because you still have to work out the kinks. And that's sort of where I'm at. I'm still being very aware of like who is attracted to me, who isn't, what I'm attracted to and what I'm not. And I'm learning every single day how much trauma I was actually going through based on how light and happy I am now. And sharing this journey is bringing me into a whole new level of making art and music and helping other people heal while healing myself. And that's exactly what this is. And if you are someone that's snooping from this, you might be able to learn something. Just saying. So, mastering the art of non reaction is one of those things that I always struggled with. Because I'm a passionate human being and I believe in doing the right thing. And so, if somebody would do something that was nasty, I would call them out on it. And the thing is, you have to remember that, like I've said many times, everybody's learning certain lessons on their own timeline. And so I've had to warn a few people of different things throughout my life due to safety, but anything beyond that is just probably not your business. And I've made this mistake. And it's all because I just want the best for everybody. And I definitely have always, since I was a little girl, seen the difference between right and wrong and wanted to stand up. And I think that, that was taught to me by not only other friends that I had, but also I think my dad actually taught me how to do that. And despite his shortcomings, I really think that is a quality that I did get from my dad. And, I'm not quite sure I learned it perfectly. Okay. And that's when you can fine tune certain things that you learn that maybe you don't want to get rid of. And you can definitely fine tune these to be better suited for your value system. So pause before responding. And a lot of these people, that are toxic know exactly how to trigger you. Okay. So they're going to grasp everything. And I'm at the point right now where anything I see and notice in anybody who's toxic, I'm learning through Dr. Ramani that it's literally predictable behavior. And I wish I had this in my back pocket a long time ago, but it's so predictable. It's so manipulative. And I'm laughing again because I finally figured it out. Right. And I went through this for so long. And it was one of those things where it was like, my gosh, every time I react to this person's cyclical, nasty behavior that happens only behind closed doors, not it doesn't happen usually with other people. When you live with people like this, especially if you're someone who calls them out on their crap, they are going to freak out and they're going to feel like they've never felt before. Why is that? They're going to feel more triggered. Why is that? Because you're challenging them. And if you really are coming from a good place, okay, that's going to cause them to react, which then is going to cause you to react. So again, this is where I have had to step back from attracting addicts, attracting narcissists and attracting manipulative behaviors and people who I don't even know how to quite explain it, but they just weren't the right people. Okay. And not all of them were bad. Some of them just weren't a right fit. Okay. But these people I was attracting for a reason, and finding these reasons and learning what I was doing to figure out what was causing this is key. I also fell victim to going, well, I allowed this to happen because I mean, I guess technically I did. But Dr. Ramani talks about this too, and you can find her on YouTube, where people who have been abused and through trauma, like I am actually embarrassed and quite uncomfortable still with the fact that I put up with this kind of behavior for so long. And I almost started a family under these conditions. Meanwhile, it was just days, it wasn't that this person's telling another person that they love them. And I lost one of my dogs that was like one of my kids, and the next day after maybe being intimate with some person that I thought I trusted, this person was actually behind my back living a completely different life. And, again, I would then have to go back to the proof because the gaslighting would make me feel crazy. And I have all the pictures and videos that I could ever want and more of the proof. And I don't, revisiting this, I had to do that so that I could acknowledge, okay, Kristen, I had to tell myself, this is sick. This is bad. And all the people that are believing their lies don't have the proof you have. It also doesn't mean that I have to share all of these details. Could I send videos and could I send pictures of the proof so that all the other smear campaign monkeys out there that are joining these sick people could be put in their place? Yeah, but you know what's even crazier? Doing that. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to. It's gross. I have it, and if I ever need it, it's there. Okay? But I want to move on from this. And I don't have any room for any more negativity in my life, and it doesn't align with me. Welcome to QS. And it can be tempting when these people are lying, especially if they're lying to law enforcement. And then you've been abused and gaslit when you actually have the proof, right? And you can see it for yourself in with tangible proof, and you're still questioning the truth. That is what I've had to go through and work through healing wise. And what's even crazier is when people that you loved the most even saw some of this proof and they still think that it's appropriate to be in touch with the abuser. That is the unthinkable for me because I would never do that. I mean, in my past, when other people were that I loved dearly, maybe even some family members, if they were cheated on and manipulated and abused, I was by that person's side no matter what. And sometimes we can question ourselves and go, why aren't they there for me? Right? But you have to be there for yourself and you have to realize that this is a reflection of people who do not belong in your life right now and they don't align with your value system. And acknowledging this and not reacting to it is key. You can react a little bit if you need to, right? But again, the old me, I might have been writing songs and making art that told the truth. But I'm more interested in telling the truth of my healing journey because that's what's going to bring not only me, but other people higher. Okay. So that's what I'm here for. And I'm just happy that you're here with me. So you got to take this personal pain and use it to growth. Pick one area of self improvement if you don't know where to start. It could be, you know, your health. So maybe try to take a walk every day. It could be in creativity. So try to find a way to be creative, even if it means trying to use your imagination by doing nothing. I know it's kind of an oxymoron there, like try by doing nothing. Well, we actually have to try to do nothing. And then what happens as human beings in today's society is the ideas will eventually come, but you have to give your brain a break. So use your energy to build what makes you tick. And a lot of times, in my past, I might have written a song that was about the truth. And then maybe I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to sing about that. So let it go. So build some kind of unstoppable routine. Detaching from social media is a good one. I don't see who sees my stuff. Okay. I don't sit there and scroll and see who's watched my stuff. I also don't scroll other people's social media. And the reason for this is, especially right now, it's too distracting and you're basically just taking in stuff without vetting it. It's just like immediately on your screen. And I used to do this a little bit and I realized I started to feel icky and it just wasn't for me. So just try to detach a little bit from that. Try to feed your mind something positive the moment you wake up and the moment you go to bed. Okay. Because whatever you go to sleep with is what you're probably going to wake up with. Okay. And this is really important to remember. This has helped me a lot because if you're watching a scary movie or, you're having to review footage for therapy or you're in some kind of battle with anything in your life, remember that like clock out of it almost like you would if you were at a job, like clock out of it and just stay steady with what's right in your heart, especially before bed. And this is why like bedtime stories for kids are so important and impactful because the next day they're going to wake up according to how they felt when they went to sleep. So do we as adults. Okay. So just remember that your path is not for everyone. And I remember, some of these people who hurt me the most in times of when they were feeling either they were feeling good or they wanted something from me, but they would say, wow, you always showed up with so much light. But when that light would be interrupted with me reacting or calling them out on really nasty stuff, that's where I went wrong. And that instead of continuing to try to fix and help somebody, the best thing to do is to just walk away. And that's easier and easier as you heal yourself and give yourself more time to understand what is causing these nasty patterns in your life. Your path is not for everyone. It's really for you, and whatever's meant to be on it will be. And sometimes that does mean bad stuff. This is the greatest gift. It's the hardest thing I've been through, but it is the greatest gift because I know that I'm on the other side of it now. And, it's a good feeling. And if you're not there yet, I promise you can get there. You really can. I promise. As long as you stick to making decisions based on your core values and listen to your guidance system. If you need to talk stuff out, that's fine. Talk therapy also is helpful. I've done a lot of that with cognitive behavioral therapy. And just remember that your therapist is a great person to vent and get things off. So if you are starting to get gaslit and you are questioning your own sanity being around certain people, and if you're in a situation or something, just remember that therapist has also all of the proof that you need that you went through for your guidance in trying to stay level on your path. And I was apprehensive about telling my therapists, plural, but telling my therapists everything because I was a little embarrassed at what was going on in my life with certain people. And it took me a while to be honest about it because I think I was so manipulated, And so then when I started to see, oh my gosh, and then even after I was able to walk away, learning the things that I never knew about that existed, even before I was engaged or even before I knew certain people that ended up being the most hurtful, the stuff and the truth that came out, I am so glad that I found that out now before I became pregnant and before I got married. And I know not all of you can relate to this. Some of you do have children in these situations. Some of you do have marriages or divorces and other situations. Everybody's different. Just remember that the greatest gift is when you turn these unfortunate situations into treasure and to the good. That's part of what I've written my songs like Pirate and, just turning nasty things into treasure. Just like, my song Gypsies talks about this. Turn all the hate into love. Like, you're going to steal all the hate, you're going to turn it into love. Okay. And this is because you still have to acknowledge the yucky stuff, but you can be that ball of energy and go, send it off. So your story is meant for you and for those who are ready to rise with you. For everyone else, bye bye. The thing is, we all have the ability to change for the most part. And some people are just here to teach us lessons. And you just have to decide, who do you want to be? Who do you want to be? What kind of life do you want to live? And who and what aligns with that? You got to start with yourself. All right, you guys, I hope that helps you today. And I will see you tomorrow. Have a great night.